Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to The Darkest Hour. It's episode 30. We have a roundtable discussion tonight with Repoze, WilsonsGame, Uberkist, and Oggieson. Should be a good one. Here we go. Let's jump in and say hi to the boys. Gentlemen, good to have you all here. Good to have you all here. A lot more faces on the screen tonight.
Very many.
This is definitely the most guests we've ever had. The previous record was Orlanthe and Uberkist joining Jay, Donnie, and I. We had to break that record for episode 30. Thank you all for joining us tonight.
We're actually planning to get the entire Iron Mace development staff on one podcast. So this record's gonna be smashed. One day.
We're gonna do that in a Zoom call. And actually, we're gonna be playing Among Us tonight, chat. Sorry.
Oh, damn.
That'd be fun. Listen, people would enjoy that. I want you to know.
Hey, that's a good game,
laugh
dude.
At it, people would enjoy that.
Hey, there's some truth to that joke. It's a good game. Yeah, folks, as you can see, we have a lot of folks on cam today. We're going to be doing a roundtable discussion with a bunch of heavy hitters in the content creation space in Dark and Darker. We have some master fighters, a master wizard, a master cleric, a killer rogue, and then a casual and an above average guy that wishes he was better than he is. So it should be really good. Let's start off with introductions. You guys already know Jay and Donnie. Donnie, Jay, how you boys doing?
Good. Doing swell. Funnily enough, my dad asked for a link to this podcast this evening. If you're watching, Dad, hello, Dad. Don't give out my personal information, please.
Hi, Dad. That's awesome. Hello, Donnie, Dad. Hope you're here.
How's it going?
Hello. Jay, what's up, man? You've been putting in the hours. Stream's blowing up. We're all proud of you. How's it going?
Thank you. I'm slowly dying on the inside, but that's okay.
I was going to say, man, all you do is lay in your bed to sleep and you eat at your desk. The sedentary lifestyle is setting in big time.
I actually am sleeping on the couch right now.
Oof. Okay, you're really putting it in
Even
there.
worse.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Why are you sleeping on the couch?
Yeah, what up with that?
My AC leaked and I had to take all my furniture out of my room.
Oh, no.
Oh,
shit.
that
That's
blows.
what the swamp.
How hot is it in your room? Is it bad?
I'm just sweating a little bit. No biggie.
You're wearing a hoodie. You could take it off.
Yeah.
Or not. Anyway. Uberkist, how the hell are you? Hey, don't think about it too hard.
How you doing? Uberkist, I help Orlanthe. We all strive to be the top treasure collectors and try to help each other succeed as a trio. So I'm out here just making a little bit of content as well on YouTube for both of them. Like me, Zanzibars, and Orlanthe are kind of the trio.
Beautiful.
Back out here grinding again. Haven't really made too much. I've been too busy on the grind. I was trying to vie for rank 1 bard, but I was using all of Vexatious's guides to my help. I couldn't do it. I only got to like 9.
That's still pretty damn good. Did you guys get a cinder in like the first 5 minutes of the game, or what happened with that?
Dude, no cinders. We couldn't find one. We did get ourselves a Kuma Claw, and that's going to be my next video. But cinder was out of our reach. We had a couple people baiting us with offers, and at the very last second they'd flake, and it's always depressing every time. But
An Orlanthe without a cinder.
Yeah, it was. H2 was the only man I saw whose squad had a cinder, and we fought him once, and he rolled us. So I've been on the receiving end of a cinder now, and I know what it feels like. It's something to witness or feel more like.
I'd rather hold one personally, but if I get my head chopped off with one, so be it. I'll lose my above average kit. Thanks for joining us, sir. Wilson, the expert fighter who plays that solo game. You've only played one game in a group, and that was with me and a buddy, and we died in that choke. Yeah. That hurt.
Yeah, it was terrible.
How goes it, sir? How are you?
It's going good. I've been here before, so mostly YouTube stuff right now just because of the time crunch. But it's been a grind. Yeah, it was kind of just thrown on us, right? Early access just come out of the blue, and then it's just drop everything and create content. So it's been fun. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't say I'm an expert fighter. I've actually been playing more barb lately just to see how bad it gets.
you're doing it so no one else has to. Exactly right, as you said in your video.
Yep.
Barbarian's bad?
No.
Solo
yeah.
HR Goblin Cave.
Solo barb is terrible.
That's masochism right there. Oggie, welcome back, sir. The Grandmaster Longswordsman. How's it going, sir?
Things are good. Life is great. It's fun making content. We started streaming. It's been a blast. So
beautiful. I just saw your
was a gift, man.
Yes, I just saw your latest video where you kill like 9 people in one lobby, just all with parry and ripostes. Yeah, that was sad. It was like watching a man put puppies down. It was not okay.
Okay.
That's fucked up.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it was that bad.
That is evil.
He was toying with these people. It was fucking wow.
It was bad.
At the end of the video, Augie was like, "Rest in peace, fellas," and just laughed at them evilly as he left the lobby. I was like, Jesus.
When you let out a muahaha, that's when you know you had a good game.
Yeah.
This is the man who beat a guy to death with a flute on the first day. All right, so
Yeah.
it's to be expected.
It was Anakin in that room of younglings. That's what that was. Welcome back, sir. Repoze, the mystery man, the top player, right? The top player in the world.
Yep.
For kills.
Hey, that's what matters the most, right?
What's going on, bro?
Welcome back, brother. How has it been in the dungeons for you? I know that you're feeling so good about the hotfix that dropped recently.
Oh yeah, it's been crazy. I think I died because of the slow and the double jump. I wasn't ready. But yeah, we were playing earlier. I got a unique hand crossbow just hours after the patch.
What? Like a named one or just like a
No, just unique. Yeah,
Okay.
little meme from the dubs there. I don't know what's going on, but
save that forever. Never trade that.
oh, it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. But
Straight to the
it's
vendor.
been crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
What's going on, guys?
Well, it's good to have you guys joining us again. Recurring characters at this point. Very, very cool. Before we jump into our discussion and just asking you guys about what you think of the state of the game and how EA launch went and all that shit, what do you guys say to me running down the EA hotfix number 6 patch notes? Does that make sense?
Yeah, sounds good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's
A
do
lot to
it.
cover in there.
I think
Okay.
Well, I think the first big thing we can announce, right, is there is a wipe coming. Yeah.
Yeah. I
On
don't
the
know.
patch notes, I think that's like the first and foremost thing.
I mean, I have the list up right here.
Yeah.
Got it on the screen. Patch notes. Here we go. An additional character slot has been added, so you can create at least one of each class now. I mean, that's great. It makes sense to me. Beautiful. Currency used to unlock classes has been returned. I was able to buy the red skeleton skin. What did you guys do with your hard-earned cash that was returned to you?
Red Skelly.
Nice. Anybody else? Red Skelly gang?
Point
Elf.
and cutthroat.
Nice choices. I know Jay's rocking red. Repoze, you're rocking the red as well, right?
No, I didn't even get refunded. I didn't buy those shitty classes. Rogue only.
Oh man. Oh, it's already getting spicy in here. I love it. I love it.
Warlock's fun.
I love Warlock. Game time has been slightly increased for the normal Inferno map. Does that mean the circle's closing slower, or is the game time in general? Okay, good. That was a little punishing, right? Like that was
A little bit.
you were basically
You
just
didn't have enough time.
getting kills, maybe looting a couple rings, then running, to the next room, right? I mean, if you're bad like I am, maybe you guys had more time. I don't know. Shay, did you have way more time in High Rollers as a pro player?
It's night and day.
Okay, good. Added an additional blue portal, and the Death Swarm closing times have been modified to close slower for the Goblin Cave maps. I think that's probably a good idea. It's a little helpful. Wilson, I'm sure you're feeling that the most as a Goblin Caver. Have you noticed a difference?
Yeah. I haven't got to try it much, but I know a lot of people struggle on those last couple rings, and a lot of complaints happen. Because it's like above you or below you, and then you just die to zone.
Right.
But we'll see. I haven't got to try it much.
Got it. Shrine of Protection's physical damage reduction buff has been reduced from 30% to 15%. That's a whatever change. Okay.
Yeah.
Pots and crates give a little bit of EXP when broken instead of 0 EXP. I think that's cool for the new players. Get those extra perks faster. Quality of life update. Silver coins now stacked to 30 instead of 25 per slot. I didn't realize people pick those up. Huh. Crazy. Who knew?
When you're gambling, you need it all, dude.
You're trying to pinch that extra little 3 gold to get something.
Gambler
Death
only.
Run, you take it all.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Let's see here. The armor rating curve has been modified and slightly flattened at the very high range. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Physical damage reduction now is a hard cap at 85%, down from 95. Talk about that later as well. 10% is pretty significant, but damn, 85 is still high. Here we go. Repose's favorite stuff. Rogue's double jump has been modified to apply a temporary movement speed reduction upon landing. The maximum height of the double jump has also been slightly reduced. How bad is that slowdown, Repose?
It's pretty bad. It's -30 for 3 seconds, which feels pretty,
3 seconds?
Yeah.
Damn. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's
I
kind
didn't
of
think
more
that.
like
Yeah.
you kind of just use double jump to like get to like good spots now that you can't really just like fly around in a fight because you're kind of slowed. So
That's really interesting.
Dang it! I hate that. God, it's terrible.
oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I feel really
dude.
bad for you, you fucking murderer, Repose, just killing everybody. That really sucks for you.
Jesus.
Oh.
I mean,
Yep.
you know, the whole leaderboard was full of rogues as the top killers. I mean, why would they do that? Jeez, darn.
Here's another one. Rogue's weak point attack now reduces the target's armor rating by 40% instead of reducing the physical damage reduction.
I didn't think that was necessary.
Really? You didn't think
We
so?
I think
Sounds like
fighters
one
had
of
too much
the-
armor. Or,
I think that is one of the natural counters to the 95% armor reduction fighter, because Repoze would like shit on us when he comes at us with that, you know. Like, so I mean, I've seen it happen.
Okay, fair enough. What do you think? What do you
kinda
think,
crazy.
Repose? Do you think weak point attack is dog shit now, or is it still solid?
Honestly, I don't even know. I gotta see like the numbers on like. It could be a buff at the high end, but yeah, I'm not really sure how the scaling is.
Okay, interesting. And here's the big one that so many noobs are happy about. Rogue can no longer equip the hand crossbow. That shocked me. That was a shocking change. I did not
Crazy
see that
change.
coming. It seemed like the hand crossbow was built for the rogue. I mean, it makes sense for them to have one, but there was so much abuse with hand crossbow, especially with double jump attached. But
yeah,
I feel bad for
I
your
feel like-
Repose.
I feel like hand crossbow was not the problem.
Yeah, it was
think double jump-
it was constant evasion while rupturing people down with a hand crossbow, and you never get a chance to swipe at them once. That was the issue.
Yeah, I mean, do you think? Okay, let's say we left hand crossbow in. Do you guys think you should be able to rupture off a hand crossbow? I don't think
That's
so.
a good question.
Jay,
That's
Repose.
I feel like if you-
100% of the problem.
I mean, maybe rupture is honestly like only kind of good with like range stuff. It's like pretty bad to just like all in someone with rupture. Yeah, I mean, so it was like okay with the crossbow, but honestly, I'm fine with it being gone. It's kind of more fun to like only have melee and like I don't know. I feel like I was playing differently in like playtest 3, like before the crossbow 3 and 4,
Hmm.
and we're kind of going back to that. So I mean, I'm down for it, but it is sad.
All right. Fighters' taunt abilities: physical damage reduction reduced from 15 to 10%. Fighter's barricade gives plus 50 armor rating in defensive position instead of plus 15% physical damage reduction. What do you think about those nerfs, Wilson and Oggie?
Go
For
ahead, Augie.
changes.
Yeah, they're
I know
both-
you're a barricade
so,
user.
Barricade. I use
Yeah,
barricade on longsword.
Yeah.
Use barricade on
Ooh.
longsword. Anyone listening, always use it, because riposte is a defensive action still. So while you're trading damage with riposte, barricade's active. It's a nerf.
Yeah.
It's not that significant. It's still one of the best perks you can take for my playstyle, for longsword playstyle, because it procs on riposte and while you're fishing for him, while you're, mixing up your attacks and baiting. Taunt change is a bummer. Makes getting to a decent PDR percentage while not using a shield a lot more difficult. So
Right.
two-handers will be punished by that more than the shield users will. So it was already a pretty niche place in a lot of fighter builds, I feel.
Yeah, I'm surprised. But like you could hold your block or your riposte and then pop taunt and get like what, 30% more?
Yeah, you can pop taunt and then hold riposte or hold block with a longsword or a shield and get 30%, a flat 30% added on top of whatever you got.
That's pretty wild.
a
So,
lot.
I mean, I got murdered by a couple beefy rogues in a high roller. They shanked me to death like I was Julius Caesar, dude. Well, I had 90% PDR going.
A2
It was
Augie.
hilarious.
You too,
was-
Augie.
Hilarious.
Damn.
Oh, I got something to say.
Okay.
Lucy from Iron Mace confirmed hand crossbow will return with a dedicated perk in the future.
Nice.
Ooh,
There you go.
juicy.
That makes sense. Well, they're
Okay.
shaking it up to test stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Repose. Let's say you have a perk right now for hand crossbow. What do you drop to take that perk?
Oh, probably Jokester. I always run Jokester.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
But I don't know if I'd even take that perk, honestly. I don't know.
Let's see here.
Let's have options, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think, like, doesn't Rogue have, like, the most perks?
Yes.
You have a lot.
Probably.
I mean, they're
Currently.
the only one with a passive perk that gives you an active ability, right? Like double jump. I don't think there's any other passive perk in the game like that, right?
Spear proficiency
Yeah,
on
I think
Ranger.
Spear. Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
maybe that.
Yeah.
I guess weapon master for fighter.
Yeah, weapon
but
mastery.
If
then.
we're
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Ranger's penetrating shot now grants 25% more armor penetration, and an error in the description text has been fixed. I don't see a lot of people using penetrating shot, but maybe they will now. Here's a good one. Bard's Din of Darkness. The attribute damage ratio has been reduced from 10, 30, 50% to 6, 9, 12%. Uberkist. Drop it on
Beautiful.
us. What do you think? I love that.
I mean, everyone's gonna love it, right? Because it makes Din total shit, and it's never gonna be used ever again by anyone who knows that the flute has the physical attack. That's basically just like, at this point, 5 times the damage that Din can ever potentially do. So we're just gonna have Din of Darkness 2, the flute boogaloo. So I don't know if we're gonna be everyone's just gonna be stacking physical damage additional, and it's just gonna be the same thing. What they really needed to do was give both of these abilities a line of sight. Like, you have to have line of sight with the person you're hitting, rather than just being able to run up to a wall and go and kill like a whole trio.
See, the thing is, though, I can listen to music with my ears, not my eyes. So if I'm behind that door, they're just going to be fucking DPSing me down, which I get why they're doing that, but under a floor hurts.
Exactly.
When they're above
I
you,
think
that hurts, dude. Behind a door, though, I kind of like it. I kind of get it, but I hear you. Yeah.
I think line of sight would have been the perfect nerf to make it not just be like, oh, my whole team got wiped by a guy I couldn't even see, which is still going to
Line of
happen
sight's
just with flute
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well.
Uberkist, that's a great idea, actually.
It'll get changed. I think it'll get changed eventually. This is an interesting one. Explosive bottle and oil lantern now do magical damage instead of physical damage.
Yeah, that was weird.
That's a little weird. Fires, I thought was physical,
Helps
but
Spud Hunter out a bit with his fighter problem.
oh yeah,
He throws a lot
Yeah.
of volleys.
yes he
Yeah,
does.
man.
Yes he does. Here's such a beautiful change. We're gonna miss the memes barely, but instruments are now bard only. No more potato gun barbarians with drums.
Achilles heel drum, no more.
The day I
Oh.
posted the video.
Dude, it was
More
so
flute
ridiculous. Especially
Break
like
doors with it.
yeah, seeing like a team of
you
rogues.
could break doors with the fucking
Crush-
drum.
crush Barbarian. and just throw
Oh
it out
my
the door.
Yeah,
god!
Downey, it was so good.
Dude, getting
That's fun.
hunted
Come
by
on.
getting hunted by a rogue that was using weak point
so
rupture with drums, slowly bleeding you down. His name was Little Drummer Boy. That was that hurt. That hurt your pride when you died, a
rooms.
Little Drummer Boy.
There's like 3 of them doing it. Like 3 rogues
Oh.
bouncing around throwing drums.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
funny,
yeah.
but I'm not gonna miss
So
that.
funny.
Significantly reduced the values for physical damage reduction that appear as random attributes on items. Okay.
It used to be 4%, so that's going to be an interesting to see what they put
That
it
could
down
be
to.
a really big nerf for
Yeah.
any stat rolls on fighter.
Here's a good
It's
one.
gonna nerf the clerics as well. They really like PDR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Falchion damage has been slightly reduced. I think we saw that coming. Windlass crossbow has 25% armor penetration. Oh shit. Okay. Crossbow has 20% armor penetration. Hand crossbow has 5% armor penetration. Flanged mace and Morningstar have 15% armor pen. Warmaul has 30% armor penetration. Just
Beautiful.
on. It's so crazy. I was trying to practice with it earlier as a barb. It's hard to use the Warmaul if you suck,
You
but
gotta use the right click. The right click for the
That's good.
Wormaul is dank.
yes, agreed. Yeah, the left click's for cleaving, but yeah, I mean you could definitely tell that there was a bump in the Warmaul. That armor pen is significant. 30%'s a lot. So
The flange mace is scary.
Yeah.
I think on clerics too.
Yeah, the maces are actually really good. People sleep
Like,
on
you
them.
can-
They'll be good in fighter
even on-
hands too.
Even on fighter, you can run like flange mace, dual wield, with
Yeah.
a hand crossbow and a backup crossbow, all doing armor pen. So you're like doing armor pen against everything. It's crazy now. All
That's
3
cool.
weapons you're using have armor pen attached to them.
that's pretty nice. Jay, Warmaul cleric win.
As soon as we're done with this, of course.
You look like you're about to pass out at your keyboard.
No.
You ever?
Tired, sorry.
You look
You guys
so
seen
tired.
Office Space? That's the. Somebody hit him with the. Somebody need you coming on the weekends, okay?
Literally.
He's like, all right.
Jay looks so tired. I feel bad.
Perfect analogy.
Magic Staff now has magical damage by default, and it's pretty significant. It's like +6 on a white one or something like that. But I mean,
Oh,
Wizards
yeah.
are finally going to be
Bronze is
doing
5,
damage.
right?
Yes, it's
Yeah, something like that. I mean, how significant is that going to be for a brand new Wizard, Jay? Huge?
Should be noticeable.
Yeah.
It'll be quite the difference, yeah.
Nice. Reduce the base projectile damage reduction values for plate armors. Wow, Rangers really needed that help. That's cool.
Yep.
Good.
It also works against wizard spells, so I take them.
It's crazy. I think that's going to be one of the biggest problems for fighter now, because like projectile resistance, I think they said it's halved on all the plate armor, so you're basically half the projectile resistance, or you're going to be hurting.
They're nerfing this from so
Let
many
me-
different angles. I'm worried it's
Like
gonna.
armor pen,
culminate.
projectile resistance, yeah.
Yeah, let me ask you this: do you guys feel like armor is good in Dark and Darker? Because, from my opinion, obviously, I'm not the Giga gamer in this chat, but I personally feel like armor is dog shit. Like, you can get the stats for like damage reduction and stuff like that, but like just regular like gray plate armor and stuff like that, the armor reduction is terrible and stuff like that.
It just slows you down. It does, it's you still feel like you're wearing tissue paper, but you're slower.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
cosplaying. You wear gray, white, even some greens. You're just, as a fighter or cleric, you're just cosplaying. That's all it is. You're looking good.
So I figured we could chat about really cool comps or, I don't know, crazy things that people have been able to pull off in game. I can start if you guys want. The Warlock is pretty damn interesting in terms of being able to solo a boss. I mean, we all saw Jay's video, more than likely. Jay soloing the Lich with just what? Was it +4 magical healing, Jay? I think it was like
+2 and base kit.
+2 base kit. Jay, is that broken? Do you think it's broken? Do you think that's okay?
Nah.
I think it's
I think
okay
it's
too.
fine.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it's like a big deal or anything.
Another cool thing, if you're running a Warlock, is if you're playing with a Ranger. Here's a little thing I do, and the secret's going to be out now, but whatever. In high rollers or whenever you're going up against really, really juicy people, especially people with high damage reduction, if you're playing with a Ranger, bait people into that Ranger trap in a doorway, get that group stuck in that choke, and just send one Hellfire as a Warlock. You watch them all melt into goo instantly. And then you just have uniques and purple gear and high quality blue items galore at your feet. So play that out with your friends. Have fun with that. It's amazing. Does anyone here have any crazy builds or comps that are absolutely destroying people?
3 Warlocks, dude. 3 Warlocks is a pretty interesting setup. But dude, I don't know if it's like competitive because I never really took it into high roller. But in normals, you can just get a bunch of magical healing on yourself and maybe not too much extra magical damage because you don't want to kill your friend when you do this. But you have 2 people, maybe even 3, curse each other before you go into a fight, and now you're all just regenerating naturally off of each other's curses.
It's crazy. Yes, it's crazy.
We were doing that all day, and it was going pretty well, honestly, in normals at least.
Are you guys using Crystal Ball Falchion, Longsword, Bardiche? What are you guys running?
Some of my friends, like Falchion is just clearly some of like the highest dealing damage weapon in the game right now, maybe. Like, I don't know, compared to some of the other ones. Longsword is a bit alright, but then you just holding that crystal ball makes you so slow though as well.
Dude,
So
get
it's kind of a
good
questionable
with
choice.
parry and riposte. I promise you can hold as a squishy Warlock. You can hold people off if you land your parry and riposte. Have you played a Longsword Warlock yet, Augie?
I was fooling around on it today before this, actually. It was pretty fun. Lost a couple fights because I didn't have shield mastery.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely harder
but
to riposte without that as a
it,
Warlock. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it was fun.
Corrupting strike on it would be devastating.
It does a lot. It's nice. The corrupting blow is awesome because you can help position better by having it pop. People will give you a lot more space and a lot more forgiveness in your mispositioning because they're like, oh, this guy's got corrupting blow problem. It's gonna hurt. Even with the longsword thrust, it's gonna hurt. So it helps with positioning a lot and maintaining spacing.
Repoze. You're in high roller a lot.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best comp to play with, and what are you seeing absolutely steamroll?
I think Wizard, Cleric, Bard is the best. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah.
Ignite Wizard, he just runs in with like 30 billion move speed. All the Cleric buffs, and he stabs someone
And
twice.
spells. They're all
Yeah,
infinite because he's just playing Clarity the whole time.
Yeah, no, it's insane. Or even the shield is like pretty good. It's like makes you pretty tanky. So I think that's probably the best. I was like pre-patch though, so like maybe some stuff might be different.
Right.
But I mean, I mostly just see Bard, Cleric, Fighter. I think it's kind of overrated though. I'm not gonna lie. I think Fighter just gets owned by a lot of stuff, and he
Bard,
can't really
Cleric,
do
maybe.
much.
Definitely where it's at. But now with PDR reduction, it's just like there's no really even reason to play a fighter.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Fighter is pretty bad.
Well,
like
they have armor. That's it.
in my opinion. But
Everyone
Yeah, I
says
don't
they
know
have
why they
sprint.
hit fighter with a bunch of nerfs.
Because people at a lower level than these pros were getting owned by the
Yeah.
Terminator. That's why.
I
You don't
mean, they're pretty
balance.
solid.
Goblin caves.
So we have to be
Solo
honest
high
here.
roller.
You can't balance a game for the 1% for the pros, right? You balance it for the masses. And that's why the fighter is getting tuned down, because the average player cannot take on even a 70% damage reduction fighter. That's
So,
what I think.
on-
Yeah.
On that topic, Summer, I gotta ask because like I'm not a leaderboard climber, but do we think it was a little rushed to do a leaderboard? Like, because I feel like the last couple days everything's just dropped off like crazy on high roller, especially the last 3 or 4 days on the leaderboard. It just disappeared.
I mean, in my opinion, this is extended playtest 6.
Yeah, exactly.
They're pushing buttons, turning dials, hitting levers, seeing what the fuck works and what doesn't. We're going to be seeing a lot of hot fixes, lots of changes, lots of wipes probably as they try to balance this shit out before they even introduce Druid or any other classes or quests or crafting, right? So yeah, it's extended playtest 6, which I'm all about. It's all good. I think it's exciting to help test this shit out in the beginning. So
Yeah,
I'm
I guess
cool
you're
with
just gonna have the attitude like, if you go in there and get rolled by a din, it's just part of the testing.
yep, get tested on,
Yep.
bitch. Yep, pretty much.
Get tested.
Jay,
High roller just doesn't have as much of a reason to go to it as it needs to, as it used to in the other playtests.
I was just about to ask Jay that. I mean, Jay, what do you think of high roller in general right now? I mean, you go in as a memer picking pockets and stealing golden keys from fools, which is just great content, by the way.
Thank you.
But beyond that, how do you feel about high roller? I mean, are you just going in there to take the juice from other players at this point and that's it? How do you feel about it?
I think it was high roller's fine. It's just there's like no reason for most people to go in, so that's why it's just completely dead. 100 gold. You had like 8 minutes to run the map, and then it takes you 4 minutes to clear 2 rooms. It's just like a rough environment.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the timer going up made a big deal.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
ask.
pretty nice.
I was gonna ask the big high roller players, especially. What do you think would make the incentive worth it for more players to jump into high roller? Repoze, Jay,
well,
Uberkist.
There was way more when it was 50 gold. Like first, like 100 gold is just too much, probably.
Yeah.
'Cause my lobbies were like all full before when it was at 50, and now, yeah, there was like 5 out of 18 like yesterday all night, just completely dead.
Before that, they were filled with like 13 out of 18 rogues when it was
Yeah,
50
that's true.
gold. But bear that in mind. So I
is
think maybe
true.
just upping the loot in general could maybe help diversify people's, maybe like some of the more good trios that just stomp normals, get them up into high roller. Or realistically, gear score for normals. Force them into high roller.
maybe,
No choice at this
maybe.
point, boys. No, you're coming up here. You're coming to fight the dogs.
I think it'll chase a lot of people off.
No.
Unfortunately.
You know what I've noticed though, whenever you bring in really good kits into normals, you tend to run into other really good kits. So there is some semblance of a gear score thing under the hood that we don't know about, I think. Have you guys noticed that when you play normals? If you bring in incredible shit that you see other incredible kits on other
Yeah,
people?
survivorship
Nope.
bias where
No.
you're hunting for
I
those
don't know.
guys
I get fucking rolled by blues and greens in my baby gear sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people just weren't committing to high roller, so they're trying to find, they have a group they're not running with every night. They're going into the normal dungeon with all the gear they have. Why go high roller?
I think you just got to make high roller very, very profitable, right? I think that's the way you do it.
The gear drops they're kind of fucking blow. You have to go down to hell to get really good shit.
Yeah, all the good shits and all.
All the good shits and all. Yeah.
I feel like in High Roller you shouldn't even be able to get you can get a cracked sapphire for why are we getting cracked at
any cracked anything? Yeah, there shouldn't even be there. I agree. Yeah. One thing we haven't really mentioned is High Roller Goblin Caves. I personally hate Goblin Caves, even with the changes. I don't want to go in that godforsaken place ever. I'd rather solo in the crypts. But who here has played beyond Wilson High Roller Goblin Caves, and what are your thoughts?
I love Goblin Caves, bro.
Yeah, the rogue would love Goblin Caves.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah. My only problem was that it was actually, especially in High Roller, finding a portal is insane. But they added another one, and there's a guaranteed exit too, so probably not too bad.
That's true. Yeah, the changes will make it a little better. What?
The portal count.
Yes. Yeah. What do you think, Wilson? You were doing High Roller Goblin Caves as a fucking barbarian because, like I said, you're a masochist. How was that experience?
I tried. It was awful. It was just it's a feeling out process. I mean, a lot of people are complaining because they think there's too many mobs, but once you get a decent kit with blue, you're clearing everything pretty easily. It's other than that, just the layout does favor the old rogue, or the warlock was even doing very well solo, but as a guy that's trying to run down hallways and getting tagged by crossbow bolts the whole time, you're just not making up any ground. So, and everyone's saying you don't need to balance for solo, which I agree with. I think they've said in the past they just want to balance for fun. So it's if High Rollers isn't fun for certain classes, then I don't know what they changed, but it's put a playground for rogues. Even farming the troll is just 10 times easier. That's why they had to just delete that horde.
Yeah, solo longsword in High Roller Goblin Caves was unplayable for me.
Really?
And I'm pretty good with the weapon. The last 6 I ran had 7 rogues in 3 of them, and 8 rogues in the other ones. And you can't fight a rogue with a longsword because you can't DPS trade. Unless you're stacked, because you can't get the PDR to actually have a significant amount while playing with a 2-hand weapon. So unless I'm in there with purples and oranges, which I'm not getting that very often, no matter how much I play, honestly. So
solo
it was hard
really
to do.
tough too.
What'd you say?
If you're only solo, you're not jumping into it after grinding hell with your 3-man group for 2 or 3 nights. If you're literally just going into it as a solo only player, your economy is horrible. And then you go in there and you lose a couple of rounds, you're cooked. You gotta go back to the normal dungeon for quite a while.
Right. Oggie, did you just admit that rogue is better than fighter?
No, rogue can play well into longsword.
Yeah.
Unless they have a rapier. Be careful with your rapier rogues. We can pair your
Did they publish the leaderboards for this one?
Publish?
We have the list and the other
Repoze it on Twitter.
Let me go look, because I'm pretty sure all the top killers, this one was rogues, I'm pretty sure.
No, rank 2 is a barb. I think 3 was cannon wizard. I think
but I'm talking.
You're talking about Goblin.
Sorry, I'm talking about solo.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was 8 out of 10 rogues. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
What do you guys think about top end headshot damage with longbow? Do you think longbows are a little too strong? Jay, I mean, you play rogue and wizard, kind of squishy. When you get shot, how much damage is that shit doing to you with a longbow?
We're talking geared rangers and a one-tap me in the chest from 4
chest.
miles away. He could probably one-tap me in the foot if I'm in his face.
Yeah, I guess people were doing 200 plus damage a shot with on a geared ranger.
They've been doing that since playtest 1, dude. Ain't nothing changed.
That feels bad, man. That's not good.
Ranger just got buffed too. It's Ranger's gonna be crazy now.
Ranger's gonna be insane. Yeah, it's not okay. I just wanted them to nerf the longbow. That's it. And one other thing. No skill check on the fucking traps. That's why I'm able to Hellfire fighters. That's why I'm able to Hellfire fighters. They're sitting there dancing, trying to hit that skill check, panicking, while the 2 guys in Discord are yelling at them. And then you can just sit there and Hellfire them because they're fucking trying to hit spacebar on that fucking red thing. It sucks for them.
Summit hit one his first game. It was just chaos.
Oh no!
I laughed so hard. Yeah, it was fun seeing him play it.
I was wondering
Had a lot of
why
traps.
he wasn't playing. That's interesting. I'm glad he's finally on it. It's a good game for Summit. Okay, Uberkist. Bard versus Cleric. What's the overall better support across the board? PvP, PvE. What do you think?
Okay, if you can only have one,
You
it's
only
gotta
get
be
one.
Cleric.
Okay.
But I don't think that it's super exclusive to, like, it's not like Bard can almost always be a definite second. I think you still need both at the end of the day, because Tranquility is so good. It can save, like, it's such a large amount of healing that your Cleric is going to end up having to waste so much time on. And then alongside that, you have Clarity, and that's just keeping everybody at infinite spells the whole entire game. And that's why Magic, alongside Bard and Cleric, is just the best comp, because you can make the Magician have zero downtime, really, ever. Me and Jay were rolling lobbies with Bard, Cleric, and Wizard, and there was no competition really at that point, just because the PDR wasn't even there to stop us. Like, no one runs magical damage resistance, which may become more of an important thing in the future. We'll have to see, but that's the main thing. And at the end of the day, I still think they're both necessary in a comp, but if you had to pick one, it's going to be the Cleric, because the heals are just either there or they're not, you know what I mean? Like, unless you guys are just running an entire vendor's worth of heals in your backpack.
Interesting. And
I'll
Oggie.
take just a Bard, nothing else, honestly.
Yeah, if I had to pick one, I'd pick Bard for sure. Being able to
Silence is so valuable as well. I can respect silence being valuable to the point
Silence
where
is huge.
it's something you need to pick, but it shuts down a Cleric. So if you kind of think about it in that aspect, it's like a Cleric versus a Bard's always going to win just from the silence.
I really like
will
that you
say-
can bust open golden chests with the flute. You can pop rogues out of stealth with piercing shrill with Bard. There's so much good utility. Yeah, you're missing those heals, but so many people run like 20 fucking health pots in their inventory anyway that you'll be okay. What were you gonna say, Donnie?
I was gonna say one of my favorite moments I've had in early access so far is running up on a wizard with Bard, and the wizard's like about to just pop me with chain lightning or hit me with a fireball, and I just silence him, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And just slash him down.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Oh, it's so good. I actually had one where we like went in, he cast invisibility on himself, and he was like sitting in a corner, and I just cast silence, and he like, I don't think he knew he was I don't know what happened, but he just sat there for a second, like didn't move, and I was like, dude, like you're gonna die, like do something, and he died.
Augie, what would you rather have backing you up, a Cleric or a Bard, or both?
Cleric every time.
Cleric.
Yep.
Okay.
Ridio's only. We had our group tried the fighter Cleric Bard thing. We had some fun with it, but we had a lot more success just running our normal fighter Bard Cleric rampaging trio melee play. It's just a lot more enjoyable. But in the thick of a fight, when you're trying to do something and you hit a clutch parry and you're gonna die if you don't get a heal, a good Cleric's gonna go a long fucking way.
Cleric
dude.
will save you there. Bard will not. That's kind of my thought process as well. It's like when you guys are just slugging it, a Bard can't do much.
Yep.
Interesting.
Clerics are fucking clutch.
The weakness that a
Good
Bard can
players
provide
clutch.
can maybe demand more heals out of the Cleric than he can provide on the other team. Something to consider. But
Yeah, the Bard weakness equipped with a curse of weakness from a Warlock on a boss. Holy shit, you can steamroll bosses so fast if you land both.
Oh yeah.
Man, they melt so fucking fast. It's really cool. Jay and Repoze, what do you fear more against really geared, skilled players? If they have a Bard, is it scarier than a Cleric?
Bard.
Vice versa? Bard, okay.
Yeah, it's Bard.
You ever die in 3 seconds flat your entire team to one Bard?
Yep. Absolutely.
Welcome to High Roller.
Absolutely, it sucks. It doesn't feel good at all.
Maybe.
I mean, I was playing a match earlier with a fighter and a Bard on my Warlock, and there was a full magic kitted Bard still using Den of Darkness, and we got trapped in a choke trying to goad them into us, and we still died to Den of Darkness.
After patch?
It still does
After
pretty
patch.
decent damage.
It still does good damage.
It's not going to kill you in 3 ticks, but it'll do
No,
like, 60-70%
yeah.
of your health or whatever now. So.
Exactly.
You're just gonna tell me the math that it was like 20 additional magic damage translates to like 5 or 6 extra on your din, rather than what it used to be, which is like 10 extra on your din. So,
Yeah, it's still
I don't know if that'd
good.
be
It's
dead
still
in the
good.
water. I'd like to see it compared to flute. I have yet to get my flute set together. I was building that prior to this, but we'll see.
Yeah, they ticked us down for like 6-7 seconds, and then the fighter came in and cleaned us up with a falchion because we had like 10 health left. So
yeah,
it's still
I do agree
really
that
strong.
the flute meta is just going to kick in next.
Yeah,
that's all it's going to be. So.
Yeah.
But the difference is you're hitting once compared to just nuking. You could probably kill 12 people with a single din, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can wipe the entire lobby with one din cast, and on a flute it might take you 2 or 3. So.
I think the downtime on the flute is going to be a lot more obvious because with din, unless you really knew the songs, you don't know. They're always hitting the drum, literally always, and you can't tell if it's up or not half the time.
Right.
But with the flute, it's like he's playing it or he's
not. So before we kick it over to Q&A, I was hoping we could go around the table and everyone could give their one big hot take, maybe something I've missed, a subject that I've missed, propose a question, a thought about the game, something like that, and then we can kick it to chat to ask questions before we call it to go back to playing. Let's start with Donnie. Do you have a hot take? Well, you're the top left. I'm just kind of going around.
Yeah, well, I'm the most handsome guy here. It's fine.
Okay. All right, Wilson, cover your ears.
But I'm not a. I would say if I have a hot take, I would like armor, just base armor, to be better. I feel like I don't really know exactly what would be the fix, but I just feel like getting 1-shot, 2-shot against people with like grays and stuff doesn't feel good if you're wearing armor. So my hot take is maybe we do too much damage, or maybe armor sucks. I don't know, but yeah, it's my hot take.
Okay, Mr. Griffia.
No, can you skip me? We'll come back. Give me next.
Mr. Uberkist.
I don't think physical damage reduction is actually a problem. I think it's the ranger's inability to deal with it that's the problem. We need enchanted arrows, poison arrows, armor piercing arrows. And I think all of this coalition of doing both, all of this armor piercing addition, like adding armor piercing as a stat, and then also taking away all of this PDR from what we already have, is going to end up making armor completely worthless. But we'll see how it goes.
Interesting. Jay, you ready?
Nope.
All right.
Slowly watching Jay turn into a warlock.
Is Wizard still the worst class in the game, Jay?
No. Wizard with Bard is like S+ for sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I mean, most classes are, in my opinion. I think Bard trivializes quite a bit of the balance, but
I agree.
I think.
Okay.
Here's my hot take. People are like mad that maybe Bard probably isn't too good solo. I'm kind of leaning on the side of like Bard being just shining and supporting 3-mans. I think is perfectly fine if it's not the greatest solo class. So.
Agreed.
Nice.
Fully buffed up with good gear, I think Bard can shred people. Absolutely. 1v3. I've seen it 1v3. It's fucking strong. Oggie.
Play the flute twice.
Yeah, there you go.
All
Just
today.
whistle a tune and they're all dead. Makes sense. Oggie.
Hot take. Zap's too good to be a tier 1 spell.
I'll agree with Zap Nurse.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'll agree with
That's
Zap
too
Nurse.
good.
This guy stole my hot take. Fuck.
maybe
I was
reduce
gonna
the
talk
range.
about Ranger PDR. Uberkist beat me to it.
So how do you fix it? Do you lower just base damage and decrease range on it, or what?
Just hit the damage a little bit or something.
The hitbox, I mean, it's pretty wide. If you just the crosshair's not even
Just
on the
hit
player.
scan.
Yeah, it's
Give it a curse of weakness and curse of whatever hitbox,
pain.
bro. That'll be
Shoot
the real
right through
pain.
rib cages.
That's the real curse.
If they
of pain
gave
right
Zap Curse of Pain, they might as well delete it.
yeah. That's gonna be one of mine. Is Curse of Pain. I mean, whenever I can Curse of Pain through a skeleton's rib cage, they gotta fucking widen that up a little bit. And
all you gotta do is take your newly buffed crossbow, shoot me in the leg, and I'll flop over on Wizard. Welcome to how the class works.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, Curse of Pain. It's pretty hard to land. They need to widen that out a little bit, and the range on the Warlock curses is pretty dog shit. But whatever, boohoo. But my real big hot take is I think just mathematically behind the curtain, just damage scaling stats needs to be tuned down in general across the board.
Sure.
I think that's like the big thing. If they tune it down a little bit, fights will last a little longer. Skillfully using your perks and active abilities will come into play a lot more than just W key left click smash. I think I'm not saying 5-minute fights like chat's saying, but they need to tune down that shit a little bit, just a little bit. But
they could take like 1 damage off of all the max rolls and call it a day, probably. Like
sure.
1 off true, 1 off weapon damage, 1 off additional, stuff like that.
Sure, test it, see how it goes. Yeah, that's all. I'm asking
less damage
for.
overall, please.
That's what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for some long onslaught that fucking takes half a lobby to kill 1 team. I'm talking about minor reductions so that you can survive 1 shot to the chest from a ranger bow, so that you can have a chance to raise your shield when a fighter's on top of you with a really, really powerful weapon, right? So you're not just getting slashed in the head and instantly dying. I think that's just healthy for the game, especially for the mid-tier players, right? Which is the largest pool of players. Mr. Wilson's Game, what's your take?
Well, that's kind of building on what I was going to say, actually, because I think the past like week and a half, my hot take would be for like a casual guy playing a couple hours a night, maybe not dedicated 3 stacking. It's probably the most difficult week and a half to have like loads of fun in Dark and Darker ever, unless you're literally just enjoying Goblin Caves. Solo, anything else has been really difficult, and then like the team comps are just so like everything's so quick. Like if you're learning this game for the first time this week, I feel bad.
Yeah,
I will say
it's
I
like
have
incredibly difficult.
I have had my buddy. He's been playing Ranger with me. I've been playing Fighter. It's been so bad. These people are too good, dude.
The skill gap's
Oh my
crazy,
gosh.
and then like you dream of like going into high roller to get something, and that's a blue, and you just get wiped by Din before you leave spawn, and you're like, well, there goes my week. There goes all that work, So it's
There
tough.
goes
Like,
my
for
week.
For casual guys, like I mean, we're talking about like 17-hour grind sessions here for most of these guys. Like
Yeah.
the guy coming home doing like an hour or two, that's like probably a large part of this player base. It can be a tough struggle, and like you're seeing like Goblin Caves and Goblin Caves High Roller get almost more popular because the other options are just so out of reach sometimes.
I will say
my hot take.
Goblin Caves does feel more casual. Whenever you hop in just a regular Goblin Caves,
Yeah,
it
it's just a little bit
doesn't
of quick
feel.
fun.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, and Mr. Repose.
Well, yeah, my hot take kind of already was said, but honestly, I think Zap just needs to be like removed. I hate
Removed?
Zap so much.
Wow.
Would hate that.
Well, every other like spell is like they have to like land it or like it's a prediction or something. But Zap, you just get you're owned. Like 2 Zaps, you're done. It's the worst feeling in the whole game. I hate it so
How
much.
many people did you one
Make
shot
it a
these
skill
last
shot.
2 weeks?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
But orbs out and they were ready. Who knows? I don't know. They zapped me.
That's
I
hilarious.
think making Zap a skill shot, making it have a travel time. The class is already the ultimate skill expression class in the game, right?
Yeah.
Let a good wizard still slap people with Zap. Keep the damage, make it a skill shot. Make the good players shine, make the bad players occasionally hit their shots and feel good about it. But keep the high skill ceiling and just play into that with the class, maybe.
We'll see. Like I think you're going to see more wizards this next week and a half with Rogue getting tuned a little. So we'll see how much Zap is really a problem. Probably.
I think
Rangers.
I think the whole idea
Rangers, yeah.
of Zap, right, is like it's the one spell where it's quick and you can get it out and it goes exactly where you point. I think that's what you should keep it as, in my opinion, and just lower the damage.
I would
Just
agree.
make it less damage. I think it's because it's the one thing in the wizard like spell kit where it goes exactly where you point it, exactly when you let it go, and
That's
Okay. Let's move into Q&A. I've got my chat open and Jay's chat. If you guys can, try to ask general questions that everyone gets a shot at answering. If you have a targeted question, that's cool too. But
I got one last thing. Incentivize the shit out of High Roller, please.
yes.
Make it long, make it cheap. Maybe even up the drop raise a little bit, even though the loot's pretty good already.
What if you just like increase the game time by a lot, just so you can be in there longer to loot longer?
I mean, it makes sense, right? You're playing with the sweat lobbies with all the good loot and the harder mobs. Like, maybe it should be longer than normal games. Yeah.
I think that would be great incentive. If you have a good crew that can take down the nightmare skeletons and the hard PvE mobs, allow people more time to break pots and open chests and find the juicier shit that's supposed to be in High Roller, you know?
Sure. Can I have a second hot take?
Yes, Don.
Oh, yeah.
You can
Sorry,
have whatever you want.
I think Iron Man, and this goes to Iron Mace, really. Like, remember we're in early access. Like, experiment, do some different shit. Like, try different stuff. I think don't be afraid to break the game for a week. Like, I'm okay if the game's broken for a week. It's fine. I can take a break for a couple days. But try new shit. Like I want to see what works. Like let's just try different stuff. And you know, if something's broken, like that's fine. If like Rogue last week was fucking ridiculous. Like it was horrible to play against a Rogue. But number one killer on the leaderboard. Okay. Not saying you're not good, but I'm just saying, you know, like break the game. Like I think that's perfectly fine. We're in early access. I think that's what the game should be right now, is trying new stuff. Let's figure out what works and take a couple big swings. And if it doesn't work, I'm not going to be upset. So
all right,
that's a fair take.
What'd you say, Repoze? You're going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say I feel like you should just like get your money back if you survive High Roller. I feel like
that too. Get the money back. Yeah. I like that. Refund it.
Sure, I'll go the opposite way. Get your money back if you die, dude.
No.
If you get out of a High Roller, you're gonna walk out with like 1,000 gold anyway. So
this is Care Bear gaming, dude. I'm not walking out with your gold if you die.
Well, if you live, you're gonna get hundreds of gold. If you die, you're out thousands potentially, right?
Actually, yeah, don't give the money back, because then you're gonna. No, it's even more Care Bear.
That makes the rich richer.
I'll just escape. I'll just get out. Like you're not gonna risk it for the. You're not gonna be. Because it's fun, because if you have a scuffed raid, right? Let's say your team gets cut down, but you're like, fuck, I put 100 gold into this raid. Like, I want to kind of get my money out. Like, I think that's way more interesting than getting your money back. And I think the idea of just making High Roller more profitable is just better.
Yeah.
That's
like Goblin Cave's High Roller. I don't know if you guys watching Spud Hunter. Like, very rarely with all his arrow purchases does he actually like make a lot of money. Like, he might get one good blue that sells for like 150. And it's like, he's not really gaining much, and he's winning consistently.
Yeah, that's a good one. You might want to reduce arrow costs.
Like he's got a full inventory of arrows, and then just blowing all his money on Molotovs.
Yeah.
All right, I have a good first question from Nori. Do you think a good bard nerf would be to make the songs cost more knowledge, so a naked bard can't run 10 songs at level 1? Do you think? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
like
maybe
that.
a little
spell
too
cap
much.
or whatever. I think it's fun.
Because the meta right now is just run every
some
song.
level of gear.
10 spell.
I'll tell you right now, the best bard I play with goes in butt naked.
Just to be fast.
Kit,
yeah.
Just to be because he doesn't need any gear. That's why. It's because all he does is he buffs and he just falls. Every time I turn around, there he is. Default kit bard, walking around High Roller.
Oh,
well, he said he likes. Well, he likes going naked because the enemies are like more upset when they die and they spectate and they see he has nothing.
It's toxic, dude. It's
what
ridiculous.
a troll, dude. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
All right, I have
Yeah,
respect
I mean,
for
they
that.
have two support classes, and they're shocked when you need to run them. Like, maybe we need more support options from some of the other classes. Like,
Druid's coming. Paladin will have some support as well. I'm assuming Paladin will have.
An option.
Yeah, support Wizard for sure. I think Druid's going to be pretty interesting whenever that comes out. That's the confirmed next class. Paladin, I think a lot of the perks are going to be auras. Imagine a 4-perk Paladin running only auras. That shit's going to be crazy. Imagine that with plate and a big fucking 2-hand sword with a bard and a cleric. Just imagine that buff ball. That's scary. That's a scary fucking thought.
Please don't just make Paladin better fighter, please.
I'm a little worried about it, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna like I think I have like the League of Legends approach when it comes to new characters in this game. Because every time there's a patch of League of Legends, I think pretty much everybody knows this. The new character they add in for like the first couple weeks is disgustingly broken typically. So
yeah, they want you to buy it.
Money maker.
Yeah. So like make it a little broken. That's fine. I think that's a better approach than like when Bard originally came out. Like Bard was just, what the fuck is this? Like, just make it a little broken, let people have their fun, and then we'll tune it into where it needs to be.
No. Okay. Gary985 asks, what will be the best class overall in 1v1 PvP? I'm sure Repoze has a thought on this.
I don't know about like 1v1 like head-on fights. Like I wouldn't say Rogue's the best at that. I feel like, I mean, Rogue should be the best solo, probably, right? Like,
Makes sense.
just in general, but
Yeah.
like a 1v1 fight, I mean, maybe like fighter, honestly, should be like high down strongest.
Well, how far away do you spawn from each other? Because if you spawn 100 yards, it's definitely Ranger.
Yeah,
Oh
A
man.
bunch of people have been saying they should add javelins to Barb just to give him
Yes.
something
Ooh.
crazy.
Agreed.
That'd be cool.
that'd be pretty
Yeah,
cool.
just give him
Or
another
sling.
nuclear bomb that
I
can
don't
throw
need
down the
more
javelin.
hallway.
Achilles
Achilles
strike
strike
in
by
the
javelin. That's what we're
Yeah.
missing.
God damn it. Achilles strike.
I think Barb's gonna get sling. I think that's gonna be his ranged weapon. It'll be weak,
Alright.
but it'll be able
Or the
to
throwing axe is not enough.
We're talking about barbarian or bard?
barb. A bard can use.
They have a throwing
Barbarian.
axe. Why do they need? They don't need a fucking.
More.
Yeah, because
Javelin?
Yeah, I mean you throw those very quickly. You have like 4 of those, and you get rid of them in like 2 seconds. I
Oh, well,
think.
fuck you! You got rid of them.
I mean, fair enough. But I'm just, my guess is, I'm not saying I want it. My guess is Barbarian is going to get sling. I think it's going to happen. But we'll
David
see.
and Goliath, like.
Yes,
Pick up
exactly.
rock.
There's
That's the
there's
only way you can reload.
there's
Hold
goblins.
still!
Yeah, there's goblins with sling. It's a confirmed weapon in the game. I
Oh,
think.
I hate
Alright.
those.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
a,
the Bola goblins are fucking evil, bro. You gotta watch out for those guys.
Augie can
Yeah,
parry
we
that
just-
shit.
We just parry those and kill them in one hit.
Oh my god.
Gross.
He parries arrows at this point, guys. He's a learning computer. He's just getting stronger and more powerful. It's insane.
Chat GPT, the human.
Exactly. Augie GPT. Okay, let's get some more questions. Let's see here. What do we got, Jay?
I
Anything in
think
your
a lot of
chat?
people are assuming
you-
that we're developers. We're not developers,
No,
bro.
we're not devs.
Jay,
we're just
your
nerds.
chat is toxic. I just read a man who said, "Hey, everybody, show your hairline at the same time, bro. You need to, you need to get these fuckers in check." dude."
Oh no!
Nope.
Oh man!
Oh, yes.
What's up? What's up?
Oh, look at you! You do look like a bard, a beautiful bard. Can you sing? You should sing us a song, Uberkist.
Sing you a beautiful song. I just watched the D&D Bard movie, bro. I wish I was that guy. That's the real icon of Bard.
Chris Pine, yeah, hot,
He's
charismatic
such
dude. Yeah,
There you go.
Such a good cast for that, dude.
yeah, that movie was so
Nailed it.
good.
Oh
I
yeah,
love that movie.
they're making it. They got to make a sequel, right? Like, come on.
They need to.
Yeah, they actually
Yeah.
they talked about that they want to continue the quest, the story, and that in the next movie they want the characters to feel like they gained a level. So everyone's going to be a little bit more powerful and have more shit to do,
Ooh,
more
be
spells.
sweet.
Chris
Spoilers,
Pine
dude.
will
That'd
have
be
some
cool.
shit. It was an interview,
Love it.
but I think
Send
that's
it.
really cool. And
Yeah,
they
it's
kind of
awesome.
set up that villain, the shadowy villain guy, to like show up as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, I can't wait for a sequel.
I like the
Um,
fat dragon. Spoilers, by the way, but the
Yeah,
fat dragon
that was like
my
one of the
favorite
best
part.
parts, and just the paladin
Yeah,
in
I
general.
love that.
The pally in general
Oh
is
yeah,
just yeah.
He's
so
walking
good.
in a straight line. Is he gonna go around the rock? Oh, nope, he's going over it.
All right, what do we got in your chat, Jay? Any good questions?
Just nope. They still think we're developers. It's the best. I don't know what to say anymore.
Yeah,
People are lost.
Pixic OT's like, any news on Druid? Yeah, let me ask Terrence really quick. Hey, Terrence, any news on? No, don't fire me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir.
I guess this would be a fun druid question. Do you guys think druid's gonna have like full-on transformations, or how do you think it's gonna-
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they confirmed that.
They said shape shifting with specific abilities tied to it.
What
So
animals
cool.
Hell
do you
yeah.
think you're gonna give us?
Yo, if we can't be an owl bear, I'm gonna cry.
Wolf,
Dude,
wolf and
definitely.
bear.
Owl bear.
What if we get a bird? We can
Please.
fly.
Cockatrice, the
That's
big
what-
thing in runes.
Oh,
That's the
God.
bird you get.
Just
For the love of
just
God.
imagine the
Goose.
player names attached to the cockatrice fucking druid. Oh my God! Please no.
Talk a twist, dude. I got bigs on that one.
I want this in the game for pure toxicity. I'm guessing you guys know
Oh.
General Sam, right? You guys
Yeah.
watched his videos before?
Yeah.
Dude, if you
Rat
put a rat in that game, where
Yes.
you can turn into druids. I want a fucking rat gang of druids just crawling around and you just pop up fully geared, just fuck some people up.
Imagine.
Separate-
Yeah, of
separate
course.
tunnels for these rat characters.
Yes, yeah, we talked
Oh,
about
yes.
that. We talked
Yeah.
about that previously. That'd be amazing to be able to escape a room as a rat. Or what if you could turn into that bat and sonic boom someone from above? You can't do anything else, but you can sonic boom players as your two teammates are fighting them.
Okay.
An animal bard. You get like two
This shit's
spellmasters.
broken already.
I will say this: no bird. All right, I don't want no fucking climbing the road shit again. No bird,
High rollers
please.
just a bunch of like flying
Oh,
drones.
shit.
We can have a bird, but let's make it like a Make it a fucking dodo bird, just some dumb bird that waddles around, or a penguin, but no flying bird, dude, please.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be bad. Please, no flying. Imagine flying around in ruins and shit.
Just a little bit, just a little flying.
No, dude. They just
All right, dragonfly,
Yeah.
giant dragonfly. You
Okay,
just
those things are like the
spit.
most broken
Here's
model
the
game.
problem. Yeah, here's the problem with that is the second you let some fucker fly, I'm gonna get like just RKO'd from the top of ruins with like a whole gang of druids are gonna jump me and like like Oggie said earlier, I'm gonna be Julius Caesar just getting stabbed to death by these fuckers.
Yep.
Welcome to Druid,
Please
baby.
no.
Please, yes.
Maybe
So
they
rogues
might be
can
able
do
to
it, but
do
druids
it.
can't?
If you're like super squishy, maybe when you're like in bird form, like you take one arrow and you just die. Maybe I don't know.
Oh,
Well, what if they do
but
it?
see, they're not going to do that. What they're going to do is they're going to turn to a bird. They're going to jump up on some ridiculous spot, and they're going to wait for your dumb ass to walk by, and they're going to jump on you and
As a
kill
wolf.
you. That's what's going to
As
happen.
a wolf, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, the cockatrice.
Or as a fucking raptor, a bird raptor.
Giant
yeah.
emu.
So I got a
You're gonna
question
get
for you
cocked,
guys.
dude.
What should be next for endgame post High Roller? Do you think this game needs some semblance of a raid with more than 3 people in a group? How do you think that's going to
3v3
operate?
arena.
3v3 arenas.
I agree. Ranked arena would be so fun.
An arena would be cool. I would like to
Quest
see an arena
arenas.
too.
Yeah, but wouldn't
Quest,
arenas
yeah.
be? Wouldn't I mean in the game's current state?
That'd
That's
be
like
like
a
a side
45
thing,
second.
though.
That's a
Yeah.
45 second
that's-
excursion. I mean,
Yeah.
depending on the builds, you're going into arena. You spend 100 gold each. You have your juicy kit on. You go in. 60 seconds later, that shit's gonna be done, because time to kill is so fucking crazy
You
right now.
keep your gear, and it's like a ranking ladder system that you're trying to grind up to. So you're going into game and trying to get better gear to use there.
I do
Okay.
think having like a raid, because it's data mine, they can have 5-man groups. So doing like a 5-man, like a 5-person, raid map where there's other teams of 5 could be kind of a sick idea.
That's what I want. Exactly
That's
what you
what I
just
think.
said. 5-man teams gunning for some giant Kuma-like dragon, who has a fucking 50% chance to drop a named item or something like that. It's extremely hard. The time for the actual raid is far greater than a typical Howling Crypts or something like that. You have a lot of time. The trash mobs are super hard, so it's dangerous as hell to even get to the dragon. You have to worry about the 2 other 5-man teams and the dragon's horde. If you do have time to hit F on it and fill your inventory with shit, it should just be exquisite gems and like real dragon horde treasure, right? Like really cool shit. But to survive that should be very hard.
Can I paint a picture?
Do it.
Okay, so let's say we squad up. We're in a 5-man squad. We go in there. We take out 2 other squads. We got to revive one of our guys. We fight Kuma. We get all the fucking loot. It's like, half of us die. We're like, holy fuck. Thank God it's over. Our 5-man squad is going to make it out. And then a full 5-man team of rogues unstealth and kill us all and take everything.
This guy hates rogues.
They just wait for all the work to be done, and they just murk us and they take all the loot.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you.
rogue
But if
agenda.
they
That sounds awesome.
What's wrong with that? Yeah, what's wrong with that
Sounds
one?
great, but like I need people like friends at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yikes.
I mean, I totally hear that.
Three's hard enough.
But if they
There's
if
that
they,
website where you can pay those e-girls to play with you, so you can just go there.
I would be rich probably on Twitch. Yeah.
No, if they create the raids properly and the circle closes properly and the mobs are difficult enough, 3 rogues wouldn't be able to survive long enough to even get to that. It's all about how the journey is to Kuma. Kuma's gonna or whoever it
force
is.
some balance. You need
Yes.
melee, you need tanks, you need range, you need healer. Force some balanced team comps.
And force people into potentially changing their comps. If we're gonna do the Kuma raid and go kill that dragon, guess what, fighter? You got to wear a sword and a shield, and you got to take taunt, or we're gonna fucking die. Cleric, you need to be running cleanse because you're gonna be cleansing almost every fight to some crazy debuff or whatever. I think that
This sounds like a WoW raid.
Yes.
Love
yeah.
it. It
Cool.
sounds
Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
This
Do your
is
dailies-
end game content, right? This is what,
It'd
this
be
is what
cool if
kind
there
of
was
we're
like the
talking
mod,
about,
like
so.
the high roller bosses were scattered through that map as well, and then like you had to get
Oh,
by a
yeah.
high roller
You had to
boss
fight
Oh,
to
yeah.
get to the final
and
boss.
DK
Sure.
all prior to fighting Kuma. Oh my god.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you had like
That would be
different
nuts.
spawns with different.
I love that
bosses
idea.
you already were
Pretty
training
cool.
and practicing on.
Yeah. Yeah, like the last chamber before you get to Kuma's Horde is like 5 Skelly champs or like 3 wraiths that just come at you or something like that. You have to figure out how to take them on.
What if his lair is surrounded by like 4 mini bosses, right? So like in order to get to Kuma's lair, no matter what route you have to go through a mini boss room.
Sure.
Or like or like a Ghost King or a Lich, right? And you know, if you're smart enough, you can just wait for some guy to kill that room and follow him through the empty room, or you got to go kill your own boss.
I think to make it work the best is there should be 3 let's say it's 15 people in the raid, 3 teams of 5. I think when you start in the raid, you have a straight line to go in. You have to fucking figure out how to get to the dragon's lair or whatever the fuck the boss is. And on the west side of the map is the same thing for the other 5-man team, and the east side is the same thing for the other 5-man team. So potentially there will be points later on in the raid where you could see the other teams and fight them before you even get to the dragon. But what if the real threat of PvP is in the dragon's lair itself before or after you kill the dragon, and you don't get to go gank the fucking other raid squad 2 seconds in because they're spawned in 5 feet from you? That would suck. Sure. I think you have to earn the PvP fight by being able to at least survive a few rooms, right? And I think one way to stop people from cheesing it, or you know, being able to just run through shit and just get to the dragon or whatever the boss is you, let's say there's locked doors, and when you kill that wraith, it drops a key that unlocks the iron door that allows you to get to the next part of the dungeon or something like that. At that point, you have no choice. You have to kill that mini boss to continue forward, right? I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah.
That sounds dope.
I think it'd be fun.
I'd play that video game.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And this is why people think we're devs. Yeah.
Right.
Questions.
Podcast.
Yeah, let's see the questions. Stash up.
Pump Knot had one.
Oh, go for it. Sure.
Yeah, no worries, man. You want to get your guys' idea or thoughts on length of fights. Should better gear increase the length of fights rather than decrease them, or vice versa? He thinks fights end too quickly, even at lower gear.
I'll give you a simple question. Yes, it should both shorten and should both lengthen. If you have a really good armor set, it should lengthen the fight. But if you have a really good sword, it should shorten the fight. But if a really good sword meets a really good armor set, should be a decent fight.
I think the game's like there already, in my opinion. Some of the high roller fights between like the sweaty like barb and fighter and cleric teams and stuff, them fights be going on for minutes, dude. Straight up minutes in a 3v3. I mean, Uberkist probably knows. Like, I just watched an Azadin video with him playing with Narek, and I don't know if you were there, but they queued into Orlanthe. That fight went on for like 4 minutes straight, dude. They're just bashing each other the whole time.
That's awesome.
Crazy.
That's cool. Who
and
won the
here's
fight?
Another one. Earlier, we queued into a Ovnik and crew. Who else was it? I don't remember. But I pulled up with 2 chain lightnings, insta killed him in 5 seconds. So I think there's like a nice, you know.
Wow, Jay.
It's like a nice middle ground.
Jeez.
In my
Definitely
opinion.
go either way.
Okay.
Yeah, it just depends. Like, if your counter class rolls up with the full stack, like, what do you? I mean, you know, it's the nature of combat triangle, right?
That is how
I
it
agree.
works, right?
That's true.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
You have a bot in your chat, Clack-a-Lack, and he just can't stop saying unless there's a mage. That man needs to take a nap. Okay. Let's
I think
see.
he's just really upset about the chain.
He's mad. He's mad. Yeah.
He hates me.
He's mad. Let's see.
He just doesn't like wizards, bro.
This is a pretty
that's
decent
my
question.
fault, bro.
Pretty decent questions from FLG Aces. Do you think duos would be a good add, and why? Like a duo map or a duo only? What do you guys think about that? I personally don't care if there is or not, but
I don't think there needs to be one. But I think if the player base gets big enough at a certain point, then sure, they could afford it, right?
a lot of people think it'll like split the player
where there's 4
base.
people in a high roller lobby, ain't no way.
Yeah.
No way they
Can't
should
really
split the
split the
keys
queue.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't necessarily think that's due to queue splitting. I think that's because people didn't have a reason to go in high roller.
Right.
I think they
Or they
should
didn't
figure
want
that out.
to. Like
Just make it really,
Wasn't fun,
really
maybe.
profitable.
Yeah, I think if they make high roller like very enticing, then those geared out the ass 3 stacks that are rolling normals all day will have actually a reason to go somewhere else. So
Yeah. And
it just
Iron
fixes a lot
Mace.
of problems.
make it to a point where it breaks the game for a little bit. I'm fine with that. Let's see what the number is where like we got to get a lot of players up there. I'm fine with. I mean, it's a play test. Like we're in early access, so let's just see.
Someone was asking who's all here. That's Donnie. That's Jay. That's Uberkist. That's Wilson. This is Repoze. That's Oggieson. But he's taking a shit or something. He's not here right now. He'll be back.
Yo, chat. Yo, Jay, this guy really wants to break the game. No.
Someone was asking like a gray only queue, or like a queue that's only like a set determined type of gear. I think
a
Uberkist was
base
mentioning
kit
this
queue
earlier.
would be alright.
It could be fun.
What do you guys think?
As long as the drop
that
rates
is
are
fun.
increased in that map or in that
you're
raid.
splitting
Yeah, it would be
queues
bad,
again.
but you
Yeah.
know,
It'd be kind of hilarious knowing that everyone
it
in
is
there
splitting
is like
again though.
base kit.
That's
It'd
actually,
be
you
a
know
fun
what?
event.
I think a lot of people would play that, to be
I
honest.
think like a 1 to 5 lobby would be fun. 1 to 5 queue, just to help like some of the new people, because I feel for them. I tried to do some LFG smurfing the other day. We're just 3 base kits, and we ran into three different 3-mans in a row that were wearing tens of thousands of gold worth of gear. I actually couldn't believe it. I was disgusted.
And normal?
So I saw it in normals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Talking
it's crazy.
full sweater, barb cleric fighter teams wearing all the gear you could find.
I mean, imagine that the average mid-tier player, that's their experience like every other raid.
That's what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying.
gotta be awful.
It's not
been a
fun.
tough week
you
and
know.
a half.
And I say that's probably because High Roller isn't very appetizing.
Yeah.
I've
my
seen like
opinion on it.
full uniques in like Goblin Caves, full purple, like days ago, like 4 or 5 days ago. And these guys have just
Sure.
given up on High Roller and their group basically.
Yeah.
There's no way you get that kind of gear without playing with a group in High Roller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it many times. I'll say it again. You have to balance games in general, any game that has PvP and a large player base like this around the average player. You can't balance for the Repoze and the Jays and the Uberkist and Orlanthes and the Oggies that are masters with like a specific thing. You have to balance for that average guy who got off a long day of work at the fucking Amazon warehouse that wants to play for 3 hours, and he's got a fucking shiny green falchion that he saved up
Why's he
for.
gotta have a bad job? All right. Why's he gotta work at the Amazon?
okay.
Why's he gotta work at the place where they don't get pissed?
All right,
posts?
Jeff
Okay, come on.
Bezos is done golfing, and he fucking goes to his yacht, and he goes to his fucking 8-monitor setup, and he sits down. He's got 2 hours before he goes to make more money. He's like, you know what? I have this fucking green falchion that I've saved up for with my 50 gold, and I feel like you have to balance for those people. I really think it's
Okay.
important.
Yeah,
I agree.
I have an
Well,
idea.
it has to be fun
I don't-
for those people. It just has to
I don't
be
know if I
fun.
necessarily agree with this, but what if there was a gear score maximum on normals? Like, what if it calculated your gear
I think
score?
that's what they need.
So you just
And
straight
if
up
you went
can't queue up with certain kits. It's high
Yeah.
roller or nothing.
Yeah,
Okay,
with
so
a
what if
certain kit.
you have 0 gold at a juicy kit? You can't go into high roller. You can't go into fucking Howling Crypts. What are you gonna just take your shit off? Oh, well, I want to use my gear.
Yeah.
Or
That's
like
not
a
cool.
sheer helmet, you know?
That,
like,
that sounds like a
dude,
really unique problem to have. If you have a ridiculous kit with absolutely $0, fucking going butt naked. You'll find a weapon. I don't know.
How do you calculate that for different? Because there's like some really
I don't
dog
know.
shit
I don't know.
purples in the legendaries.
Yeah.
There's some really.
I don't
crazy blues.
necessarily agree with it. Don't get me wrong. I was just
Yeah,
not.
I do agree with it, and I just kind of thought about how would you calculate it, and it seems a little impossible.
I
Yeah.
also don't think it'd be great.
I mean, yeah, it's not good. I mean, someone said that doesn't sound unique at all. Let me tell you something. When I get gold, I go and I buy good kits, and I am constantly gold broke, but I constantly have a ton of good kits ready to go right back in.
Yeah, but
So-
realistically speaking, right? If you have a bunch of juicy gear, you can buy a falchion for what, 8 gold and go into a run. Worst case scenario.
A gray falchion, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
They're junk now.
Well,
Yeah.
I might have a hot take here, but I feel like a lot of people like overrate the gear gap in these fights. Like they'll play a fight like as bad as possible, and then they'll see like, oh, this guy's purple's like, that's why I lost. But
that's true.
True.
yeah.
I mean, you can give like Jay like a full green wizard set, and he's just gonna like shit on 3-mans that have like blues and blues plus, right? So it's like, I don't know. It depends on your
Yeah.
class too, I think.
Yes,
but-
you're right.
Yeah,
it does.
definitely
Okay.
class, because like rangers you
Yeah.
can just blow up even when they're in purples. And
And
then like
let
if you want
me,
a fighter with purples, you're swinging like a madman trying to kill him.
Let me float you this idea then. Then how do you fix big stacked 3-mans and juicy kits going into normals consistently? How do you fix it?
Make High Roller more appealing. Maybe I'm
Yeah, that's
overrating it,
bullshit.
but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can just like
there's gonna be some
bend
people who
these
are always
like.
like, I want to go smush noobs. That is what I am here for, and there's nothing
Yeah.
that you can do to make me not want to do that.
I don't think you
and
can
that's where
stop
gear
that.
score like maybe comes in. I don't know.
Yeah, some kids want to put on a combat boot and go stomp ants. You know, like that's what some people want to do. Some people want to get juicy and go slaughter a little gray fighter, which, I mean, sometimes that does feel good.
I think the main point is that this wasn't like a problem in playtest, right? I don't remember it ever
It's
being
the
that
reason
way.
HR even exists. Like me and Orlanthe used to season 2 or like playtest 2. That's when we would just roll the whole fucking server every time because we were geared and nobody else had anything but whites.
Sure.
Yeah,
So
but I
that's
mean,
why
I
HR even
think
became to exist.
I think to this degree, right? Because playtest, what the longest one was like, what, 10 days or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had weeks. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think to this degree, it hasn't been that much of a problem. So
Right.
Well, and you're also seeing like the gear has been, well, it was super bad at the start. So if you were like scrambling looking for chest loot, you were finding absolutely nothing. So the guys that were good at the game were going high roller, getting good loot, decent gear, and then anyone that was kind of just stepping into it, they're not geared at all yet, and then just getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Like the gear progression was way slower, so people that were like not ahead of the game in terms of knowing what the game was, just really struggling. So half the players that aren't really you guys just have a hard time getting going. You don't find that good a gear unless you really know the bosses and stuff.
yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah, I agree.
bosses, who here has killed the new warlord?
Yo, we parried that shit.
With a flute.
With a flute?
You did parry that
shit
thing
with
to
my
death.
drum, yo.
That video is very cool. Before you even got to the warlord, you parried every single attack from the centaur. The charge, the swing, the overhead. You killed him in like 2 seconds. Your team didn't even know you were fucking fighting it.
No, that's true. That did
Jesus Christ. And then you just parried the fucking warlord to death. Do you think that different bosses should have, I don't know if this is the case. I think maybe it is, but I don't know. Maybe someone can let me know. Do different bosses have different drop rates and loot tables? And do you think really, really hard bosses should have better chances to draw better loot? Is there a really hard boss? Like the Lich is fucking
Skelly
easy.
Warlord is the only hard boss.
But I think
And
so
I think
because of the
mechanics
ads.
are sick, dude. I think the mechanics are really good.
It's cool, but is it only hard because of the ads? Because I think that's the hardest part by far.
No, I think it's genuinely like kind of scary.
Yeah, if you have a fighter who can just block, it's a pretty chill fight. I think
Like
Ghost
Lich,
is
all
scarier
you
than
do-
anyone else because he got a one hit.
Yeah, Lich, all you do is you straight
rotate.
boom,
Yep.
boss defeated, and Ghost King is
Don't die
get
to one
stacks
hit.
and jump. Don't get stacks and jump. Like
Exactly.
it's you know what I mean. Skeleton Warlord's like doing 360 no scoping you, throwing like 48 throwing knives at a time. He spawns a whole army of ads and
It
stuff.
depends
He
on your
roots
class.
you.
Like on fighter, it's an AFK fight, but like maybe on War, like anything that's a ranged character is definitely gonna have to like actually care. and do
Kite
those
a
mechanics.
lot. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's get more questions, and then we'll call it here in a little bit. I know everyone's eager to go play. I know I am. I want to go melt a fighter in a hunter trap really bad. Mystic Falcon asks, "What about an MMR system? What do you guys think?" This has
Please,
been
God,
this has
no.
been
No,
asked.
no.
I say no. I say no.
Split
No
the queues
MMR, no
into
gear
us each
score.
other.
No.
Every
Yeah.
game with it dies off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be going to a cycle situation here if we do the same shit like
I think
that.
there's like a.
Yeah.
You think there's like a better ranking system than a leaderboard? You think they could? They think they could do something more fun?
I think
we can
just
make
getting
high
the
roller-
personal stats tab would be cool.
Yeah, they need
Yeah.
to switch up some of the stats, I think. Just so like
What if?
it's kind of crazy you can just like last hit a boss or whatever, and there's a whole bunch of ways to like get yourself up the leaderboard right
You can
now.
cheese it, right?
Cheese it,
You can
yeah.
cheese the whole
So,
leaderboard.
What if
it's
we
really
did
just-
like?
I hate to say it, but it's a lot of just time played.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, sure.
that's
I know,
all. that
no
it is.
question.
That's
like,
all
you guys are
leaderboards
amazing
ever, though.
players, and I watch a ton, so like you're wicked at the game. But really, like, I don't think anyone's gonna compete with Repoze like 17, 18-hour days, like, and just the grind is crazy. But
Yeah.
your skill, but I just think like the leaderboard itself is kind of weird when you really break it down.
No, you're right. I mean, it's just
Sure.
a time sink, pretty much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea. I mean, what if we did it like kind of like a competitive game, like High Roller, right? What if High Roller you have a rank, like League of Legends, you have Iron, Silver, Gold. What if we made high roller ranks?
That's just
I'd
Thinking with,
be-
like, the
That's
arena
MMR,
mode
though.
that I was
That's
talking
MMR.
about, you know?
Yeah, but I mean only in high roller. Wouldn't that be fun to go against
That'd be
people who
cool.
are your same rank in high roller?
I mean, high roller, that already is kind of basically how it happens. But I think with an arena mode that we all kept our stuff in.
Yeah,
that would be
okay.
Cool.
It's
Yeah,
a challenge,
no.
like a big challenge for them, because I mean you're seeing the results of it right now. Like we're kind of just throwing stuff at a wall, hoping it sticks.
I do
I'll
like the
say it for
idea.
100th time today, which I'm sorry for, but I think high roller is a perfect answer to not doing MMR. Personally,
Yeah, just
it's like a different. It's just different, right?
It's a way different game. Yeah.
I agree. What if we? I do like the idea of the arena being where like you can transfer certain loot items to your arena, like loot, where you keep that item when you die. So that way it'd be fun to like go and farm the high roller loot. That way you can get really good stuff, and then you can transfer it to your arena character to where you can get like the perfect kit in arena to kind of go fight people. That'd be really cool.
Seems something interesting, but that's like it could get dangerous. Everyone could go hide there.
What do you mean?
You know, some
Oh.
people who get really scared and they don't want to play HR, who otherwise would be playing HR.
But I mean, you got to play HR to get the really good loot to go into arena with good loot.
That's true. That's true.
So
Maybe HR buys you arena tickets.
I like that. I like that.
How you guys feeling about this stash space? Because I'm losing my mind, bro.
Yeah, I think that the answer to that
We
is
all
going to
need
be some really cool hardcore quest chain that like increases it by 50% or something like that. Like you got to earn that shit in game playing.
I think
Or I
That's
swipe
gonna
my
be
credit
huge.
card.
I see what they're going for, but I just hate how like everyone just mules, right? So like the only problem with the stash space is if you don't have any friends that you can like trust to transfer items, you're just locked to one stash. But like everyone else has just infinite stashes basically. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
I
pretty
just-
locked for one.
yeah, that's sorry, man.
Wilson, I'll trade with you anytime, man. Don't be shy.
Yeah,
You
I got
DM me
you.
anytime you want, man. It's all
I'm
good.
out here feeling the, like I said, just feeling the effects of this solo stuff. But I think So Bad was on a podcast or whatever and said, basically, if you're winning, it sucks. If you're losing, it's fine. Because if you're losing, you don't have anything in your stash anyway. So it's just like, great, I can buy potions, do this stuff. But if you're winning, it's like a problem, like because you're running into that block where you're just don't have space.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
fine until keys started going for over max cash because now it's a pain in the
Yeah,
ass to
that's
actually buy a
ridiculous.
key and transfer my wealth.
What?
Okay, that is
Go
a
for
really good thing you just brought up is the economy in this game and trade. A lot of people in general are just there's billionaires and everyone else is fucking poor for the most part. There's so many people trying to sell shit and everything is like 50 to 100 gold and it's just spammed with people trying to sell crap. And
I mean, I think
Yeah.
In the
I think that's
premium,
why
there's
they're
only-
wiping it. There's infinite
Yes.
gold all over the place
Yes.
for the first
Yeah.
week or two, right? So
It's
You're
gonna
right.
inflate endlessly. Yeah.
So even sans
wait.
cheating though, it's still easy to get a ton of gold.
I have a question. So if a key goes for more than the amount of money I can put in my stash, how the fuck do I buy said key?
Not in your stash, but in the inventory trading window, which
Yeah.
is 1250.
Oh.
So what you have to do is trade them. You have to trust them and trade them the first portion for like the portion that's missing first. And there's a ton of scamming occurring based
Oh, a
off
ton of
that,
it.
which
It's
is
like
Oh
just the
my
Lions game
God.
back. The glory days are back.
Uh,
Trimming
Yep.
trimming armor,
Here's
trimming
just
armor
stamped
with
right
gold.
here, yeah.
you have to trust them. Oh,
Trimming.
oh man.
It's over.
Trust a
bro. It's
person
over.
in a fully PvP game where everyone wants to be
There needs to be
rich.
a
I think it's
premium
hilarious.
currency that we can dump money into that's not fucking going for insanely large amounts.
Truthfully, I think it's hilarious. If these rich guys
Yeah.
are getting scammed for 300 or 400 gold, so be it.
It just turns into like this. I'm streaming right now. You can trust me, I swear.
Yeah.
Oh, literally, yeah. Streamer privilege is lit for that because they always go
Oh, yeah.
first. It's actually
this guy
OP.
didn't trust me on a gold trade, and I just linked him my stream, and he instantly accepted.
Holy-
Oh,
Streamer
wow.
guy was in
I
full
got
effect.
vouchers.
That's hilarious.
There's
That's
gonna be Reddit
wild.
posts about
You
this.
should have scammed him regardless, dude. Just did it anyway. It's just been dirty, you know.
I gotta give it back afterwards, but just give him the fear. Just like, damn, he really did.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. All
What are you
right.
gonna do about it? You gonna go till Twitch? Huh?
All right. So let's go around the table here, the digital fake table, and get everyone's like final thoughts. How's early access treating you? How do you think launch has gone? This initial wipe, if you want to call it an initial wipe. How's it all? How you feeling with it across the board, just in general with the game, Donnie?
Feeling good. I think it's a good launch. You know, I think there's issues. We're early access. I think all things considered, right? They put in a lot of work since the last playtest, and I think the game's been great. You know, the game's not perfect. We're still in early access, and I'm very happy with it. So I think overall, very great launch. They fixed a lot of people's issues with like the pay to win stuff. As far as like, do you still have to buy the classes, or they just what happened with that?
They're free.
No,
So they're all free now. Okay.
And refunded the currency.
Yeah. So they fixed that. So you know, a couple mistakes here and there, but I think for everyone's major grievances have been fixed, and overall, I think it was a great launch.
Okay, Mr. Griffia.
I would completely agree, and I'm glad they're wiping the game.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they had all these infinite gold issues early. And,
Yes.
You know, at least they got it. Like getting rid of the gold hordes, brilliant idea. They could even nerf the gold hordes, honestly.
Well.
The ones that remain and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't shake your head. I consistently get 1,000 gold and above just looting one gold horde every game.
Yeah. Don't tell people.
It's kind of broken. So,
Mr. Kist.
I think it's great. I mean, I think it's going as you would expect. Like everything's going nicely. The main issue that we're really just feeling the burn from is that there's only 2 support classes, so obviously they're going to be on your team every time. I think once we get, maybe diversify what you can consider as a support class, like Wizard, maybe get a few extra support spells to really seal in that deal where you could haste ignites you, and then maybe one other thing onto them, and then Druid, hopefully maybe a bit of a more of a support thing too.
It will.
That might diversify what we see in terms of trio team comms.
Yeah.
Definitely. Mr. Oggie.
EA's been great. I like that they're shaking up the balance a lot with big changes. I mean, yoinking hand crossbow off rogues is kind of insane, right? You would think about it. Bringing it back with a perk, like Lucy mentioned, Jay mentioned, Lucy said, is a good idea, right? So making big sweeping changes like that, I think are pretty awesome to see in EA, and seeing them listen to their community when they're upset about the bullshit takes that they pulled, like with the paying for classes and stuff and rolling it back immediately. It speaks a lot on their part, and it's very reassuring.
Agreed.
Yep.
Mr. Wilson.
Just to add on that real quick, the fact that they did a big balance change and they didn't like obliterate the game, I think is also really good.
Yes.
I think it's a really good balance change, and it could have went terribly. Right.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Wilson.
Yeah, I don't know. EA's been like incredible considering it was like an afterthought for a little while there. Like no one had any idea. So I've been pretty much addicted every day thinking about content, watching Jay. I spend about half my time making stuff for this game, and then as I do playing it. So it's just like it's taken over a lot of my spare time, which is rare for gaming. So I hugely appreciate, like, I mean, we had a dev in Jay's chat talking about game balance and stuff. So it's crazy. I've always thought that the devs were what was going to make this game like just like break through and beyond. And unfortunately, the past 6 or 7 months have been like horrible for us gamers spectating it all. But hopefully, I mean, now we can just like keep going. I mean, the first few times I played this game, I was like just fully addicted, ready to go. Everything I was seeing from them, all the Q&As, all the public stuff they could do was like check marks across the board. So hopefully that just keeps going. Yeah.
Yep.
Loving it.
Beautiful. Mr. Repoze.
Right, yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, I've been playing like all day, every day, and I haven't gotten bored at all. I'm honestly just excited for like the future stuff. It has so much potential. Like, I don't know. I was gonna actually mention like the High Roller Goblin Caves. There's so much like new dope shit, like just random like traps in there, like the pushing traps and like the fire little traps that go off. And I just want to see like more of like that, like I don't know, like cool new stuff come to the game. I'm hyped.
Awesome.
It's in such like an infancy stage. Like, it's so exciting to me. Like, so much is changing, and we haven't even like it barely even get started really. So
agreed. Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I'm in love with this game. Every 5 to 10 years, something comes around that I get completely addicted to. Diablo 2, World of Warcraft, DayZ. 10 years later, something has got its claws in me again, and it's this game. A lot of people think I'm kind of crazy when I say this, but this is my favorite game of all time already, and I I know Donnie's like, oh, what about
a little
Texas?
early.
What about Texas Chainsaw Massacre? No, this game is the shit.
That game is fun.
Okay, but I'm just
That
saying.
game is a good time.
What about
This,
Tarkov?
yeah, I mean, this brings everything that I love: full loot PvP, Dungeons and Dragons fantasy shit, first-person combat, melee combat, a hard grind, really cool progression paths. and-
Respectable AI. I think
Yes,
so.
exactly. It like brings everything that I really like, and I had an opinion previously that Dark and Darker, the Iron Mace guys, having their own launcher was going to be good enough. Like, hey, save the 30% that you're going to lose from each sale on Steam, right? You could do this on your own. I didn't realize how much younger generations distrust anything that's not on Steam and Epic Games. I did not realize
yeah.
it. They have been conditioned to think everything's a scam, that torrents are bad. They just don't understand. And it's really hard. It's really hard to educate them on that. So I think ironing out all this shit in early access now on just the Blacksmith launcher is a blessing for them. Once they fucking flatten this shit out, really finish baking this beautiful cake, then hopefully the time will align where they can get back on Steam and really open the floodgates. Because I think when this game goes back on Steam, it is going to absolutely explode. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of more players, and I hope they're ready. The game's ready for that day.
So concurrent right now is like what, 22,000? I think I see. And like, what was it on Steam during the playtest? 100K?
Six figures.
80K at some points.
Like 100K for like the whole week or something.
I saw 100,000 at
Yeah,
one point. Yeah.
Literally.
So you think that's a lot different than what we're experiencing right now?
Yes, that is
I mean,
a
it
lot
also-
more
it
noobs
held
for
about
Repoze to
40.
kill. Yeah.
It held
helped-
40K
That's also
for
a
a while.
playtest.
Dropped
You
down
know,
to like
so-
some mid 30s. So
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't
For
know.
a sneak drop on your own platform, that's pretty damn good if I had to
And
guess.
absolutely incredible. I
Great.
mean, this indie
Yes.
studio is crushing it. I'm really proud of them. But yeah, I think we can all agree this game is the shit. Even though it's got some issues and some stuff to Iron Mace out. It's an excellent. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. It's an excellent game. I'm really happy you guys are all enjoying it. I know there's frustrated gamers out there that are also still enjoying it, even though they're throwing their balls against a broken glass wall every match. They're still
On the
doing
10th
it.
Reddit post, they're still playing 12 hours
Yeah.
a day.
This shit is terrible, but I'm gonna go back in solo as a barb anyway. Yeah, oh yeah, this game's good. Yeah, this game is good. That's why you do it.
Can I just say that this game, like, I'm so happy it came out, but I feel like it came out at like the worst time possible, because we went from like the extreme gamer drought for the last 6 months, and now there is just too much to play. I haven't touched Baldur's Gate in like 2 weeks, just because I've been doing this Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then now fucking Armored Core, and then also Starfield's coming out like 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now.
I know.
None of that matters.
That's how I feel.
Playing Armored Core.
I
I'm
really
so
loyal
like
man.
block
Armored Core
everything out of my
episode's
mind.
plenty.
No,
Totally Dark and Darker.
I so badly want to play Baldur's Gate 3. I'm like an hour into that game. I think it's amazing. I'm probably not going to touch that shit for a long time. This game is just taking up my spare time, my gaming time, and I have no desire to touch anything else. So.
And then what else is coming out this fall? There's a ton of stuff coming out. It's just like, God, too much all at once. But I mean, it's a good problem to have. It's just insane. But
yeah. Guys, this was super fun. I definitely think we should do roundtable discussions again. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It seemed like we all had a good time. Maybe every 10 episodes, which is about every wipe, right? 2.5, 3 months. We can pull together a bunch of folks in the content creation community and do this again. So maybe episode 40, we can have another one. Bring back some familiar faces, maybe get some new folks in, rotate some cast of characters. And honestly, I think we should start bringing in guests just more often in general. Why not? There's so many cool, interesting perspectives, interesting play styles, really great content creators that we should just be talking to every week at this point. So something I'll talk to Jay and Donnie about. But I think that'll do it. Oh, one last cool little thing. I don't want to jinx it, but I got a really cool message from Terrence Park, the CEO of Iron Mace. He wants to join us on the podcast when the legal issues are at a good place where he can speak publicly again. Obviously, we're not going to talk about Nexon or the case or anything, but when that man joins us, you know, we'll boost the ego a little bit, tell him how much we love the game, and then we're going to ask him so many hard questions, and we're going to try to pull out every fucking secret we can, all the plans that we can. It's going to be great. I hope I didn't ruin it by saying it publicly, but I'm excited about it, so I had to.
Yeah. No, say it publicly.
Cool.
No, I'm glad he's coming on after the legal stuff because it would be so awkward. Be like, so where'd you get, like, where'd the inspiration for this game come from for you guys? You'd be like, anyways.
Okay.
Donnie.
Yeah, come on!
Son of a bitch.
Okay.
Damn you. It's out. Okay, he's going to message me. He's like,
Oh,
you know,
got
we
a new
thought
one
about
there.
it, and yeah, it's not going to happen.
New
Yeah.
message from Terrence just now. There you go.
But no, I mean, I'm excited. That'll be
Yeah.
very cool.
Absolutely. Donnie, where can people find you on the internet machine?
You can find me on YouTube, Donnie, and then sometimes I stream. So we'll see. Some of you are gonna hate me. You ready for this?
Okay.
You're gonna hate me,
Here it
dude.
comes.
There is something in the oven, but it's not a Dark and Darker video.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Here's how it killed 8 cheerleaders in 5 seconds. Yeah, okay, dude.
It's in the oven. All right, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
All right, just like the cheerleaders. Okay. All right, Jay Griffia. Where can people find
Jay
you,
Griffey
sir?
on Twitch and YouTube. I stream 7 days a week. All Dark and Darker.
Love it, sir. Uberkist.
Uberkist on YouTube and Twitch. We're mostly focused on YouTube, but we're gonna get that Kuma Claw video cooked up there soon. Also play a lot with Orlanthe.
Love it, Mr. Oggie.
Yep, Oggieson on YouTube and Oggieson on Twitch these days. I stream 6 days a week. I'm not as good as Jay.
There you go.
Yeah, but your longsword
It's
content
been
is some
fun, dude.
dude. Your longsword content is some of my favorite shit to watch. It's so good.
Yeah, it's
So
been
keep it
So
coming,
good.
man. It's so fun. Mr. Wilson's Game.
Mostly YouTube stuff right now, just time crunched with everything. But Wilson's Game on YouTube and then Wilsons_game on Twitch. I'm live like once every couple weeks on Twitch, like right now. So
The best way to grow a
Mostly
channel.
YouTube.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Every randomly. once in a while.
Yeah. Awesome. And Repoze, sir.
Yep, just Repoze on YouTube and Repoze one on Twitch. And give me your Twitch primes. Thanks.
Jay has mine right now.
There you go.
I might switch it up.
Oh, that's the real leaderboard. That's the real leaderboard. He's got all the
Yeah.
primes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. I'm Soma at Soma on pretty much all socials and video platforms except YouTube. It's at _Soma where you can find these podcasts. Sometimes Jay uploads them when he remembers, but he's always streaming, so he doesn't. And that's it. I play Dark and Darker on stream, and it's fucking great. Thank you guys so much for joining. It was a true pleasure to have all of you here. I think this it was organized chaos, and it went better than I thought. So props to all of you, and thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you
great.
guys.
Thank you. It's down to a good host.
Oh, that's very
Yeah,
sweet.
sure.
Excellent job.
Thank you. You guys are very nice.
I felt like one of those little kindergartners holding on to the yarn, like going for field day. Yeah. She's yelling at us, like, come on. Like picking my boogers, eating glue.
Chat, thank you guys so much for watching. I think I'm going to continue streaming. I think everyone here is streaming right now, so take your pick. Yeah, this will be up on YouTube in the morning. So have a great night. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. PT for episode 31 of The Darkest Hour. Take it easy.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Have a nice Twitch prime.
Take care. Be safe.
Oh my God.